So let's get into the Uber story. This is really fascinating to me. You were asked to come in and help change the culture at Uber at a time when the company, as you called it, was a hot mess. And we've all read it, for years ago, what was going on with their former CEO, Travis Kalanick. We've read Susan Fowler her experiences with harassment and discrimination in that blog that went viral. But you were there, you were in the trenches, working right there behind the scenes. So walk us through, what did you see, what happened, and was what you saw, what the media portrayed, was it accurate with what you were seeing on the ground?
That's a great question. And Susan Fowler wrote the blog of her tragic experience there in February of 2017. And I got a call in March of 2017. And so I was interacting with them on a part-time basis and then joined full-time on June 1st. And I, like you, I read everything, including her blog, and I didn't even want to go out and talk to them because it just, like, who's going to go there? But there was a former student who asked me, who worked there, who I respected a lot. And she said, please come out and talk to Travis. And I was like, well, he's the last person I want to talk to after what I've read. She said, he's going to appear very different he appears very different to me. Just please give it a chance. So I went out to meet with him, and we were going to meet for an hour, and we met for 3 days. And this was a man who was super humbled, and needed help, and said, and the way I knew that is he asked for help. He was like, look, the last organization I led had 8 people. This one has more than 10,000 people. And I am not getting this leadership thing right at all. And so will you come in and help? And he also said on the strategy side, because strategy and culture are they're intertwined. He said, I understand the strategy, but I'm not doing a good job of having it well understood by everybody in the organization. And so people are working at cross purposes, sometimes really actively. And so we're not making the forward momentum we should. So the first thing I saw him, and he was humbled, and I was like, okay, but then I want to see everyone else. So I think I interacted with 1,500 people before I joined in either small group settings, teaching, various things, because I wasn't going to go work for dopes or work with dopes. I have to say, they were awesome. They were open. They were embarrassed. So no one wanted to admit they worked at Uber. Nobody wanted to wear an Uber t-shirt. But they really wanted to learn. And what I saw is that people were doing things that no one taught them how to do. So you'd get hired as an individual contributor, and 5 minutes later, you'd be a manager of people because of the growth. And 5 minutes after that, a manager of managers, with never getting any help on how to manage and how to manage managers. And so then when we looked at the problems, and if you look at Susan Fowler's just horrific blog, magnificent in what it did and how well written, but just what her experience was, you can just see so many management breakdowns, so many. And so we went in and diagnosed that, well, there could be 3,000 bad managers, or it could be that no one has educated them. So we set up a curriculum to educate all of the managers and did a whole bunch of work that way. And within 9 months, it would be impossible to imagine anything that was in Susan Fowler's blog ever happening again at the company. And we were done in 2018. We're 2 years later. It's still impossible to imagine anything that was in her blog ever happening again.
Wow.